All right, this is another one of our property deep dives. So, just kind of an overview of how we do this. There's three things for all of our property deep dives that we're going to cover. Of course, we're going to talk about the property itself, and just the specifics about the size of the property, any amenities, the general location, and then we'll go through the numbers, how much this property rents for as a Mitchell rental, occupancy rates. We're recording this in December of 2023, so how it performed, real numbers for our business, how this one performed over 2023. And then the third we'll talk about is the type of tenants. It's always important to know that the type of tenants a property will attract as a Mitch rental, because that determines how you do your marketing, right? Where you go to find these tenants. So this is just a listing page from our website. We also have it on Airbnb and Vrbo and some other places. This is a one-bedroom apartment. So it is a renter arbitrage unit. So there's some differences there, but as far as the marketing side and who books it, that doesn't change, right? It doesn't change whether I own it or not. The arbitrage side just has to do more with the financials and how much we make on it. So it's a one bedroom apartment. I'll open the photos here. You could tell it is a nicer, newer unit. So like the kitchen is a great way to tell the quality of a home and the finishing. We've moved into this one probably about 3 years ago, but when we moved in, it was new. Essentially, the building renovated and fixed up a lot of their vacant units. So at the time we moved in, I believe we were the first tenant in this unit. So you could tell, very modern, still pretty trendy as far as 3 years old, but this the white shaker cabinets and all that, the backsplash, the white and black. So it's a newer unit, which is nice. A big selling point for this one, it has great amenities and the common amenities. So there's this very nice pool that was also the exterior was also renovated when some of these interior units were renovated. So you can tell it's a nice, we call it a resort style pool. Just the way it's set up, it has these cool glass barriers to look classy. Let's see. They have this cool outdoor gym area. And in general, you can see the landscaping. It's kind of this tropical, lush landscaping. So they have this little outdoor area, outdoor gym with some bikes, treadmill, and then off the screen behind the photographer, there's some dumbbells, I believe, some other like floor stuff. And then you can't see it here, but there's a little fire pit right here, a gas fire pit. I might have another photo of it somewhere. Yeah, so here we go. So same gym here. There's a fire pit. So yeah, very nice amenities, which I believe has contributed a lot to the success of this unit. So we have two identical units, actually, two one-bedroom apartments in this building. This is one of them, and they're pretty much the same. So we're just gonna go over one of them. There's actually a nice floor plan too that we created for some of our listings to give you an idea. It's pretty basic. You walk in, there's a kitchen, there's a living room, there's the bedroom, and there's a closet and a bathroom right here in this corner. So pretty straightforward. This one is located in the South Bay of Los Angeles. So it's a nice town, not too far from the beach. So those are some other things going for it. But that's the rundown of the property itself. Like most one-bedroom apartments, I imagine, there's no dining area, right? So as far as furnishing goes, we don't have a dining table. You can see, maybe not this photo, there's a bar there. That's essentially the dining area. Here we go. So let's go to this one. So you can see the kitchen here. So this bar area, we put bar stools. You can sit there to eat, and then off to the left is the actual living room with the coffee table. So no, dedicated dining area. But again, one-bedroom apartment, so that's okay. So numbers. Again, looking at 2023, I'm going to share some numbers here that kind of a summary for the year. So we have two of these units. One of the units was 87% occupied, and the other one was 78% occupied. So on average, that's like what is that? Around 80%, we'll say, occupancy, which is great. I believe that's about a little less than 2 months, or maybe around 2 months. And with midterm rentals, this is all the individual gaps between bookings added together, right? All these, like, 3-day gap, 4-day gap, 7-day gap. Some gaps are bigger. The midterm rental rate for these two. So again, this is a one-bedroom apartment. It rents for between 3 to 4,000 a month. There's a range there for different reasons I'm not going to go into. It has to do with our pricing strategy. But 3 to 4,000 a month is what we get for this unit, the low end, and then the highest end, that we could expect. Because this is a rental arbitrage, we have different expenses. If this was a property management, a property like other ones, yeah, the income is a big part of what the owner makes, and we charge a percentage of that. This is a rental arbitrage, so our total expenses, which includes the rent and utilities and some other expenses that are our responsibility, is 2,600. So again, 3 to 4,000 a month is what we is the revenue, the income, and 2,600 is our expenses. So if we do some math and kind of fact, let me pull this up. So I'm going to use 3,500 as the average, right? Average rent, and we'll say 80% occupied. So in 1 year, that's if it's 100% times that is the how much we make in a year, right? With the 80% occupancy. So 2,600 is our expenses, and that's a fixed expense every month, whether we're booked or not. So that's the number we're going to put there. So if let's see, 3,600 minus 31. So we're making about 2,400 a month on this property. So it's not a huge amount. There's upside. Well, I don't have the proportion down, but I know just from top of my head that most of our bookings are in that 3,500 to 4,000 range. Sometimes we lower it to fill gaps. That's when it gets closer to 3,000. So those are some numbers there. Tenant types. So this property, it gets, compared to other properties we have, it gets a pretty wide range and variety of midterm rental tenant types. It almost reaches, how would you say it, the whole spectrum of midterm rental tenants that you could expect. So I looked over 2023 our bookings for both of these units, and essentially, as far as the group size or the types of I guess the party of who, the booking party, there are individuals, single, one person who books it, couples, of course, and we also get small families here. So the sofa in the living room, if I can find a photo of it, is a sleeper sofa. So here, so this guy's a sleeper sofa. So we have gotten bookings from small families with 1 or 2 kids, and people will utilize that sleeper sofa. And as far as the reasons why they're coming, we have people who are getting their homes repaired. We have people coming for work, whether that's travel nurse or other work travel reasons, of people in town for business. We also have gotten people, I always think it's a weird term for people coming from medical tourism. Coming out here for an operation at a local hospital. And I think we had one guest coming out here to deliver their baby, which was exciting for us. And again, this is many different types of midterm rental tenants. People relocating to the area for the first time and, figuring out where they want to live. People coming to visit family, who have family in the area. We had one family, pardon the noise in the background. This is the life of working from home with young kids. We had a family from Ukraine, who came out here for obvious reasons. They knew someone in the area, so they came out, needed housing. So again, yeah, all sorts of midterm rental tenant types. I think the size of the property makes it work for a lot of different types of, again, midterm rental tenants. So that's our deep dive for this 1 bedroom. People often ask, does rent arbitrage work for midterm rentals, right? The margins are going to be less, of course. This unit, if we were allowed to short-term rent it, the city is in, you have to do 30-day minimum. But if we were allowed to short-term rent it, you could tell, with these amenities in the pool, it would do great. The location's great. I imagine, let me see, just off the top of my head, this probably could make more like 5 to 6 thousand a month if you could short-term it. So as far as rental arbitrage goes, the margin is much larger, but it does work as a midterm rental. As you saw earlier, it wasn't a huge margin. On average, I believe we made like $800 a month for the year. So that's a pretty good margin for a midterm rental arbitrage property. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. We're going to do more deep dives. We have all sorts of different types of properties, different sizes, different arrangements, to give you an idea of how midterm rentals perform, what kind of properties could work well as midterm rental. And please reach out if you have any questions, and give us any feedback so we know what kind of videos to make for you.